Hey everyone, welcome to part 5 of our Google Ads course. And in this specific course, we're going to be talking all about responsive search ads, right? So what they are, why they matter, best practices, and then we're going to jump directly into the Google Ads user interface to actually write a few ads just to ensure that you are writing ads that are going to rank at the top of Google. So we can just jump right in. So with billions of searches happening every day on Google, how do you ensure that your ad is going to be relevant? So responsive search ads are essentially Google's product to the Google Ads ecosystem that helps solve this problem, right? 15 headlines, 4 descriptions, and Google really, will rotate through all 4 of the descriptions and all 15 of the headlines to find a combination that best suits the user search. So like I stated, why do responsive search ads matter? RSAs offer an opportunity to provide up to 15 headlines and 4 descriptions. And while each ad will still show up, in a 3 headline, 2 description format, Google basically gets to decide what's the best asset combination that creates the highest click-through rate and the best overall experience for the user searching. So simplicity, right? You get to save time by creating one ad with multiple headlines and multiple descriptions that, formerly with expanded text ads might be 3 or 4 different ad types, right? So you get to, simplify the actual ad creation process. The number 2 reason why they matter is just the flexibility, right? So you get to create an ad that adapts to different devices, different device widths, right? I know there's a big difference in user type from mobile to desktop, and so RSAs really give you the ability to create ads that can fit both formats. And control, right? So you're still providing all the content, you're writing the content in a specific format, but if you need your brand name to be, in the first or second or third headline, or you want to have a call to action at that third headline slot, you can actually pin your headlines to the ads to ensure that they never move from that specific position. And then the 4th piece to why RSAs matter and why they're important is really just the performance aspect, right? So you get to reach more potential users by increasing your opportunity to compete in more auctions, right? So with the ability for Google to continually rotate your ads and find the best solution for users, you actually get to compete in more auctions, right? And I know Google Ads isn't built on a CPM auction, but you will see, your ads will see more impressions because of the various combinations and testing that Google's trying to do to find, ultimately the best combination. So the responsive search ads UI, so inside Google Ads, when we're about to jump right in, but I wanted to show this to you just so you can see really quickly what's really important, right? So you're gonna have your final URL, that's where you're gonna put your landing page. You're also gonna put a display URL that fits into your overall theme, and then you have all your headline types, description types. The last piece that's really important to notice is on the right-hand side, Google's gonna give you an ad strength, almost grader, right? Where it tells you how well your ad is written, what updates you need to make to it, whether it's a headline adjustment or a description adjustment, and then it can show you, both the mobile and the desktop version. So let's jump right into Google Ads and actually build out a few ads. Okay, so now that we're in Google Ads, we're in our test account. You're going to navigate to your campaign. So in this specific example, we're actually going to use just a mortgage campaign. So we're going to click on it, and then you're going to go into your specific ad group, and then when you're within the ad group that you want to use, we're going to use mortgage lender. Then it'll direct you right to your ad section. Okay, so click this blue button right here, and Google's going to give you the ability to select a responsive search ad or a call ad. And Google used to have expanded text ads, but they have sunset that product, so they're fully RSAs or call ads. Okay, so basically Google's automatically filling in a lot of our headlines based on our keywords and our other ads we have. But like I mentioned, the first thing you're going to see is you're going to see this final URL right here. So make sure, this is the primary landing page that you want this audience type or this group of people to see. And then you're going to see, different variations of what your ad's going to look like, right? So we have the mobile version, and it's going to continually rotate. Like I mentioned before, it's going to show you, the different formats that you can utilize within the Google Ads user interface. So then if you want to see what it's going to look like on desktop, if you're an agency, this is always a great way to quickly grab a few screenshots for your clients to show them what your ads are going to actually look like. And you can run through these previews too. So it's a really cool way to see, your ads in real time. The second piece is going to be our display path or display URL. So, if we're focusing, right, this example is on mortgage clients, and it's going to be for mortgage lenders. So people searching for the exact term mortgage lender near me. So the first thing you're going to want to do is make sure you're putting, in my opinion, the keyword that's going to be clicked on the most, right? So in this example, it's going to be mortgage lender. So we're going to want to put mortgage lender and some variation inside our display path. Then we're going to scroll down, and Google's going to give us a bunch of headline options, right? So they see we've got mortgage lender near me, they've got this click on more ideas, and then Google's going to, again, do a lot of the heavy lifting. So they want you to insert these keywords. Again, there's a level of automation, and once we plug in all of the options Google's giving us, we're going to then dive in and make a few more tweaks just to make sure that we're getting the click-through rate that we want to achieve, right? So let's add home loan lender. Let's go. And right when we type that, you should see this turn to green. Boom, that turns to green. Now mortgage lenders near me. So let's go to top mortgage lenders. And a lot of times you can combine them. So let's see if this fits in the character count. Okay, so it does. So top mortgage lenders near me. That should eliminate it. Okay, and then the last piece is going to be private mortgage lenders. So let's go down here and change out mortgage company to private mortgage lenders. And that should suffice. So we should have all of the keywords, right? The second piece here is going to be ensuring that you're writing strong calls to action. So I usually have like a 30-30-30 rule, right? So make sure 33% of your ads, are focused on your product. 33% are focused on your value proposition, right? What you bring to the table that's different from other competitors. And then 33% are going to be calls to action, especially when you're creating a new ad group or a new RSA from scratch. This gives Google a lot of, equivalent variations so that it's matching, value proposition with a call to action and with a branded term, right? So, or with a keyword term, right? So let's run through these headlines and just assess them, right? So find a mortgage lender. I think that's really fitting the search term or the query term. Same with home loan lender, best mortgage company. So we might want to get a little bit more specific besides best mortgage company, right? You might want to say mortgage company with integrity or lowest rates mortgage company, something along those lines, right? This is more of your call to action, right? See your cost in minutes. That's a unique call to action that you don't often see. A lot of times you'll see very vanilla terms like learn more or talk to an expert. Those aren't necessarily wrong, but sometimes it's good to add in a little more interesting and nuanced calls to action. Do not overpay for a mortgage. So this is your value proposition. Again, this angle's coming at, hey, we're a mortgage broker. We find the best rates, don't overpay, see your cost in minutes, right? And that's going to generate a great click-through rate. So again, show your value. Another value proposition, great rates, easy process. Another call to action, get started today, fast, easy, friendly. Again, that's another value proposition. We run through these 100% satisfaction guaranteed. And then we go back to the keyword terms, right? Private mortgage lender, get pre-approved in minutes. That's a call to action. So I think we're covered pretty well here in terms of just what our makeup, our headline makeup is going to look like. Another really cool tool and tactic that you don't often see because it's a little hidden, but they're called dynamic text headlines. So in this example, right, we're targeting Arizona. So if you're targeting the entire state of Arizona, but you want to be a little bit more city or regional specific, what we can do is we can delete this right here and then put your curly brackets. And Google's then going to pop down keyword insertion, location insertion, right? So let's do a location insertion and let's do city. And if there's no city, we're going to just keep it at Arizona, right? So basically what this is doing is that if someone is in Phoenix and they're searching mortgage brokers, this is automatically going to default towards Phoenix top brokers, right? But maybe let's adjust the top to just Phoenix brokers near you, right? And let's go back to this really quick. So like I said, this is going to default to whatever city that they're searching from. But again, this is a great tool and tactic to try to get that click-through rate and show it a few different variations. You can also use state or county, but generally I think city is usually best if you're targeting a whole state. So then you're going to just click apply, and then that's the format it's going to look at. You can also, this might not be a lead generation tactic, but more so e-commerce, you can, if you're having a specific sale, you can do timelines, right? So let's just, for the sake of showing what this tool does, let's hit curly brackets again and do countdown. So we can say countdown end of the day. So starts at 5. So basically you hit apply, and you can say, basically, 5 days left for 50%. And this will dynamically continually change as you get closer to your end date. And then the last dynamic tool that I like using is keyword insertion, right? So if you're targeting like a very specific keyword grouping, and you want to ensure you're driving as many people to your landing page as possible, a lot of times you can just do a dynamic. We'll do our default text will be, right, mortgage brokers near me. But what this is going to do is it's going to dynamically insert whatever their search term is, right? It could be, lowest rate mortgage breakers, boom, and then it'll insert right into the headline. And you're going to drive a lot of really great clicks, right? You could see, if you have a very broad keyword grouping, you could see downstream conversions decreasing because of this, right? Because maybe people are clicking on your site, but because of the headline, but it's largely irrelevant to what they're actually searching. So be a little bit careful with that one. But other than that, I think the city and the timeline, they're always a great way to add some different nuance to your headlines. And then the last piece, in terms of our headlines, are going to be just penning, right? Don't forget to add your brand name to it, right? So if you're, AZ Brokers, that's the name of your brand, don't forget to pen that there just so they know exactly what their brand is. Again, if you ever registered an LLC or a trademark, add that in too. It helps give a little bit of authority. So you can have this ad in the second position, and then Google is always going to show your brand name in that second position. Again, something to think about if you're really trying to develop a brand at the same time. And then in descriptions, Google's pretty clear, right? Make your headlines more unique. So we need to add headlines that are a little bit less vanilla to get our ad strength up. So again, make sure they're all very unique. And if you're having a hard time building out headlines that are creative and unique, look at your competitors, right? Dig into the search terms report and see what are other people doing that I'm not thinking about. Go to your website to build out different descriptions, but don't forget to ensure that they're unique, have a call to action, and plug in your keywords into your descriptions, because when you're searching, Google will often bold the keywords people are searching inside descriptions and headlines, and it helps just, again, drive that click-through rate, which ultimately improves your ad rank and your overall quality score. And there's a few more nuances. You can add site links. Again, we're going to have a whole other course on just site links specifically, but this really covers, how do we jump into the UI and build out headlines, build out descriptions, and responsive search ads that are going to generate good results. So we can jump right back into the course. Okay, so when you're writing responsive search ads, there's a few best practices that I wanted to dive into, right? So always create 2 RSAs per ad group. Don't ever go with one. You want to give Google multiple options. So, if you create 2 RSAs, that'll give you about 30 headlines and 8 descriptions for Google to be able to rotate and find, positive results. And then from there, if you start seeing ads go stale, or you see one ad that's not performing, switch it out. You can add up to 3, right? But generally 2 is the standard. Number 2, I know I've said this a few times, insert keywords into your headlines and insert keywords into your descriptions. Often descriptions are forgotten about, but it's a really vital part for your ad strength to improve and to get those click-through rates to a point that's going to reduce your cost per click. Number 3, I mentioned leverage dynamic headlines. This is a tactic and tool that is often, not utilized to its potential, but it can really help improve your CTRs and really gives a different type of ad or ad experience to your consumer than just the normal headlines you're going to see. Number 4, update your RSAs every 2 weeks. If you have one RSA that's just really performing well, let that one run, but often there'll be one that gets fatigued or doesn't perform to the way that you want. And then that fifth piece is going to be monitor your ad strength score. So in Google Ads, one of the columns in your RSAs and in your ad section is going to be ad strength. So monitor that score. I have seen sometimes it's strong and then it decreases because you pause a keyword or add a few keywords, right? So make sure you're always monitoring that week to week. So final thoughts. So RSAs are extremely flexible and really useful in the Google Ads search ecosystem, right? So just ensure you're utilizing them to its full potential. Don't forget the 15-4 rule, right? So 15 headlines, 4 descriptions. Make sure you're maximizing all of your headlines and all of your descriptions. It's not required, right? But it's really vital to see your click-through rate and your ad strength increase and reduce your overall costs. So make sure you're maxing out all headlines and all descriptions. And then the last piece is really always looking at your ad strength. So don't forget to look at your ad strength. This is really Google telling you how to improve results and how to decrease costs. So overall, that is Google Ads Part 5, Responsive Search Ads. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.